Bah! Whoa. Whoops.
I broke it, folks. Oh, he fixed it, folks. I was ready to just do the whole podcast like a newscaster.
We are live here.
Coming to you live at the scene.
Welcome to Fantasy World. This is Earth Kingdom Radio, live from Omashu. A cabbage merchant tried to enter the city with rotten cabbages.
Why is your newscaster voice so nerdy? Why is every voice that you do so nerdy? Hey, no.
I wonder what the common denominator is. I'm going to do my least nerdy voice.
Do your least nerdy voice, please.
Can I have some voice coach tips?
You need to go back in time and delete the part of your life where you ever read Homestuck. Or
Done.
When didn't you like make robots for fighting or something?
That's the worst idea ever, to get your high school class to make robots to fight each other, because if you want your robot to be effective against like puncturing metal, by the time you can destroy a robot with a robot, it can destroy a human easily.
It can destroy you.
If your robot can defeat another robot, you've already gone too far. Hey, welcome to Avatar, the Podcabbages, not related to the film threats, facts.
No, that's a different podcast.
We got, my name's Noah here. This here is Summer.
No, wait, you're introducing me.
This is Summer.
No.
I'm introducing her.
Don't.
Here she is.
No.
We have,
Stop.
we're talking a lot about,
Your very favorite one and only everything shit. You were doing a much better job. It's French now.
Welcome to my
To appeal to all our Canadian listeners.
Welcome to My Podcabbages. My name is
What are you doing? Hello and welcome to My Podcabbages.
My name is Noah Geist, and this here is
Summer. We don't have anything to do with any movies. There was never a movie made about this show, unfortunately.
any movie with the same name. Avatar.
There was one, but it was about blue people.
And like an internet tree or something.
Mm.
I'm going to start by saying, like, I know who Dave Filoni is, because I looked him up later and I just see that fucking cowboy hat everywhere. I'm pretty sure he was the original model for the cowboy emoji, and he did Star Wars: The Clone Wars, and he had a bigger part in Star Wars Rebels because he actually created Star Wars Rebels.
Oh shit!
And
so
he
he did
just
do a good thing.
Yeah. So,
do you want to hear some good trivia?
here's a trivia.
Okay.
Dave Filoni is probably. He's probably the like a prime example of big dick energy. I know it's probably overdone at this point.
Is that all you had to say? Just that he had big dick energy?
Yeah, because like just having a cowboy hat where you have like pretty much like an office kind of job.
I don't know. A cowboy hat in an office setting seems a little bit compensating to me, if I'm just being honest. Seems like you have small dick energy and you are presenting a cowboy hat on your head.
Like you don't do like anything physical at all.
What are you saying? Like no cowboy activities, no roping,
yeah,
no
you
ranging?
had like to have a cowboy hat and like have zero relation to cowboys at all.
I feel like that's bad. Here's some actually decent trivia. Oh, you're going to hear a lot of jingling and jangling on this episode because I got a bell on my phone now. Here's some facts. Something that we haven't really talked about yet, which I feel like we just should cover. The benders in the opening sequence Do you know who
Mhm.
they all are?
Water is Old Man Northbender.
Wow,
Old Man
you already knew
Northbender.
this. I'm surprised. His name is Paku.
Paku.
He's the person who does teach Aang and Katara waterbending at the Northern Water Tribe.
Mm-hmm.
This dude only teaches dudes.
We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that. But that's like, fuck him. Anyway, also spoilers, but he's Kanna's ex-fiance.
Ooh.
Yeah, and a member of Iroh's gamer club.
Ooh.
Again, we'll get into this later, but he is a significant person in the story.
If you're a gamer, it's called a clan.
The Firebender. Do you know who that is?
That's the fire girl that we don't know about yet. Well, we don't know about any of these people yet. It's Azula.
Arguably my very favorite character in this series. She's super problematic, but I relate to her a lot, which is bad. It's probably bad. Then the Earthbender.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No. Although you
boulder.
You have some you have some knowledge that I didn't expect you to have.
Okay.
Everyone thinks it's that guy, but it's not.
It's not?
No.
Who is it?
So this was the last person to be revealed in the opening. His name is Sood. Does that ring any bells?
Absolutely not.
He is in the show, but it's in one of the like way late episodes, like almost towards the very end.
Okay.
He is only in one episode in a flashback, and he's the guy who taught Roku earthbending.
That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to put like any of the notable earthbenders in the show,
but they didn't.
Later on.
I think the reason that they didn't, well, there's one that I wish that they would have used, but I guess just like height-wise didn't match up.
By the silhouette, you would be kind of
It's very obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote down a lot of fun little facts about Sood, but then I was like, you know what, I'll just save those for that episode. So, fun little tease there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Airbender.
Is it just Aang?
So this one is weird because apparently, like, it hasn't been confirmed canon-wise. Oh. No one really knows. All it says on the wiki is just an airbending nomad, but everyone just assumes it's older Aang.
Okay.
That's what it looks like.
Like both shows are over and we still don't really know, I guess.
It said like, oh, the so far the last to be revealed is the Earthbender. And it's like, so far? Like, when are they going to say anything? But I mean, like the airbending silhouette is very ambiguous. It could be any airbender.
That's true because they all
look the same.
Bald.
I'm glad you had a little extra trivia today because I didn't have that much because I wanted to try to save some stuff.
Okay.
But one final thing that I wanted to share was that Commander Zhao was based on an actual character that is in something else. Any ideas?
No, because he could be based off of anything because he's like a blank slate of a character.
That is very
just
true.
Just a general mean man.
He's actually based on Colonel Tavington from The Patriot.
Oh, that
yeah, that guy who shows up. And I showed Noah just apropos of nothing. Showed him this clip from The Patriot right before we started recording. Like, hey, just for no reason, let's watch this clip.
The guy that's played by Jude Law?
I don't think so. Jude Law is Magneto, isn't he? Young Magneto. I don't know actors.
No, that's Phil from The Americans. That
what?
You're saying.
Phil? From the okay. Look, I don't know. I don't know
Jude
actors.
Law. He's an artificial intelligence. He's the sex robot.
Wait, Jude Law isn't a real person? They just created him for TV?
I mean, that's also true, but he was also a sex robot in artificial intelligence.
Oh. Okay.
Remember him?
This is all...
He was the dad from Hugo?
I don't
know. That's very not memorable. What a very not memorable movie.
Anyway, he was Colonel Tavington. Zhao was.
Okay.
Based on. That's all.
Okay. Imagine Ewan McGregor and just kind of smooth him out. And then you get Jude Law.
let's go ahead and dive into the synopsis.
Okay,
I was
that's a
gonna
verb.
say jump, and then I was going to say dive. And we arrived at jive. The gang arrives in Omashu. They're very excited to see buildings that don't melt. Katara and Sokka are,
Mm-hmm.
which they have already seen buildings that don't melt, but Katara suggests that maybe they should be disguised this time so that they don't create the same situation that they were in on Kyoshi Island. And Aang's like, I can't just grow a beard, but then he does.
Does he have a beard?
It's just a mustache.
It's just a big-ass mustache.
And a big head of hair that he also makes with Appa's hair.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start to walk up to the gates of the city, and Aang assures them, oh, no, it's a friendly city. You don't need to be on edge or anything. And as he's saying this, we see the cabbage guy for the first time, at last.
The cabbage guy? He's bringing in rotten cabbages.
Well, he's just doing his best. He's bringing what he has.
He's bringing in bad cabbages.
And the guards are offended by this, essentially, and they toss his cabbages into the void with a little earthbending trick.
This whole city's like on a weird, like, peak of a very steep mountain or something.
Yeah, it's weird that the earthbenders that love rocks would build their city up on a big rock.
I don't know if that...
They do approach the guards. Aang gives them the old 1-2. He doesn't beat anyone up. He just uses his old man, angry Republican voice to tell them that he deserves to be inside the city.
He just wants to speak to the manager of the city.
He introduces himself as Bonzu Pippin Paddleopsicopoulos III.
Oh.
And as if that were a normal name for a human to have, they just kind of accept this and open up the gates to let them in.
Yeah, it's pretty bad TSA. They don't let the cabbage guy in and like throw out his food. And then for these people, they just kind of question them. Like, you seem like a responsible lady. You seem like a strong man.
Maybe they just have something against cabbages. Maybe this cabbage guy is just cursed.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he'll have good luck for the rest of the show.
We'll see. As they're entering the city, one of the guards stops them and we get a little ominous, like something bad is going to happen. And then he's like, You look like a strapping young gentleman. Why aren't you helping this old man with his luggage? And Aang's like, yeah, great idea. And he throws all his stuff at Sokka. As the gates are sort of sliding closed, Momo's ears pop out of the top of Aang's fake head of hair and looks very much like Aang just has weird little animal ears. And the guards they don't really have time to process what they're seeing before the gates just close up again. So they're just left with 1,000 questions. At this point in the wiki, Aang, Sokka, and Katara are referred to as a threesome, which I did not like in this.
Bad.
Yeah, in this context, I do not endorse this verbiage. And then we just cut to Aang bringing them up to the delivery system of the city, just for no reason. Like, they're just like, okay, we're going to check out the delivery system now, I guess.
So Aang is explaining how this whole delivery kind of mail chute system sort of works. And Sokka's just like, oh, so they get their mail on time? And Aang's like, yeah, they do get their mail on time. Like, he's like, yeah, it's a great system. It does have a functional city infrastructure. And Sokka's being like, he's like the libertarian of the show. He's the show's Ron Swanson, where it's kind of like, he doesn't really deliver the messages and values of the show, but
he's there kind of as like a devil's advocate.
Yeah, for like those one-liners and those memes that libertarians are going to make of the show.
I just love meat.
So yeah, Sokka's just unimpressed with the postal service and he thinks it should be abolished. And the band probably too. And at this point, I just want to mention that when I was making my notes, my computer kept auto-correcting Sokka to sock.
So there's a flashback sequence with Aang and his old friend Boomy, this little sprout of a child. Sprout? What's the word I'm looking for? Spry little boy.
Mm-hmm.
A little rascal.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a shit boy.
A shit boy.
He can be best described as a shit boy. Like, if you see this boy...
That guy is rolling in shit.
He's rolling in shit. He's going to do some shit. He's going to cause shit. He's getting into shit. That's a classic shit boy.
He's just shit posting.
He shits shit like a regular person, but Aang loves him.
Yeah, in this flashback sequence, they're just kind of having a good time. Sliding down the chutes like any normal kid would do as soon as they saw this system.
It's like the extreme version of like riding in like a little dumbwaiter. Of course, that's the first thing that you want to do when you see that. You just want to get in it and go.
And then sort of at the end of the flashback, Boomy's like, you need to keep your mind open to the possibilities. And Aang's like, Boomy, you're a mad genius. I don't know why I mentioned that. It's not like it has anything to do with the rest of the plot.
Yeah, and then Boomy, the shit boy, just starts laughing. It's like,
that wasn't even important.
Well, yeah, it wasn't. Or was it?
So they do a slip and slide back in Katara land.
Or a rock slide.
Ooh.
A rock and slip.
Aang uses rock slide. They start all the way at the top of the city, and then they just kind of go twisting and turning very quickly down through the city. They're flying down the chutes a little too fast, and Katara wants to slow down and suggests that they could use airbending, and Aang's like, great, we can use that to speed up. And they're just going even faster, and it looks hella dangerous. And then off to their right, like a parallel chute that's right next to them, down slides this cart that's just is full of like glistening sharp spears pointed directly in the direction that would kill someone if it were behind them.
I'm pretty sure that it's just like a spear delivery kind of thing, but it's not angled in the way...
Angled?
It's angled in the way that you'd think that this is just like some sort of attack block. That's like... Like that
like
automatically...
it's put here intentionally to kill someone who's on the chutes.
Like it automatically deploys when like there's like an intruder.
Intruder. But Aang is able to airbend them off of the chutes, and now they're just going on the rooftops, and they're just flying around the city.
It's like I think it would be really good with like that Ferris Bueller ska song, where it's like the toot 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 toot.
This cart seems to have a lot of like a built-up kinetic energy, I guess. It's just going. Like, it's extremely Newton's law. Just going.
Yeah. Newton's law. Just going.
And then, of course, they do run into the cabbage guy on this little adventure.
They end their 80s montage.
Fully realizing the cabbage guy joke / meme.
One last thing about the carts. These cart things, these mail chute things, reminded me of that weird analog roller coaster that we went to in Tennessee.
Oh my God. I forgot about this thing. This fucking death coaster that I cannot believe we got in.
I've been in many close calls, sliding in icy traffic and collisions and standing very, very close to jet engines. But this is truly the closest that I've ever felt to death.
Oh my God.
Being on this weird ass, like electricless roller coaster.
Did you look up what
Tennessee.
it was by any chance?
It's the Smoky Mountain Alpine coaster in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
I think you had to there were signs when you were getting on that were like, just so you know, this might not end well.
You can't. The way that the roller coaster works is that they kind of, the only mechanical part, they kind of crawl you up there. And it's just a 2-seater small little cart, and all you can do is just brake.
The only thing you can do is slow down.
You have control over the brakes, and that's it. And you just kind of goes down the mountain.
The implication is that you could just not brake, right?
Yeah.
Like you could just not brake and you wouldn't die, right? Wrong. wrong. Your life is in your hands because there are other people on this roller coaster. And if you don't stop, you will run into them.
Yeah. If someone gets really scared and they just decide to completely brake and stop, then there's nothing stopping you from ramming into another stopped cart at 27 miles per hour. I don't remember any like safety nets there.
No.
Or like guardrails.
Nothing.
It was just a track.
It was in the middle of the woods too.
It was in the middle of the woods. It was on the side of a mountain, and you just.
Is this in Tennessee?
In Tennessee.
So if you ever take a little trip to Tennessee, definitely go check out this coaster.
Anywhere around Pigeon Forge, try out this weird ass analog roller coaster.
If you do this, please don't say that we told you to.
So they run into the cabbage cart guy, and I'm just thinking this guy like had his whole cart like kind of knocked off the mountain.
You're right. This guy is a cabbage god.
He immediately has an overflowing cart of cabbages already within maybe like a few hours at most.
Where is he getting these cabbages?
He tried like another entrance, or maybe he bribed the guards to get in.
I think he must be like some kind of a spirit.
Yeah.
Cabbage spirit. The guards bring them into the king's arena, a throne room, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're being brought up on charges of vandalism, traveling under false pretenses, and malicious destruction of cabbages. Again, something fishy about this. How do they already have a law about destroying cabbages?
It's true. There's clones of these cabbage people everywhere. This cabbage person is actually killed every time and is constantly being recloned.
Cabbages are his Horcruxes. I kept getting distracted when I was making my notes by the Big Bang Theory background on the wiki that was featured today for some reason. This quirky king decides instead of punishing these felons that he's going to just throw them a feast instead, which is praxis in my opinion. This
is like the third quirky old man in the series.
We love a quirky old man.
We got Iroh. We got
That's it.
Gyatso. We got Iroh, we got Gyatso, and then we have this king character.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a couple of others that we just don't see, but they're probably in the world somewhere. At the feast, we find out for the first time that Aang doesn't eat meat, which is fun. I like to see that personally.
And the king is like, oh, I bet you like meat. And he just kind of like shoves meat in Sokka's mouth. And I'm just thinking, like, Sokka seems very readable in this episode.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you seem like a strapping man. You seem like someone who would like meat.
You seem like someone who hates the postal service for some reason. Bumi's trying to trap them into sort of admitting to whom they are. And Aang says, no, I'm from Kangaroo Island. I wanted to point out quickly, kangaroo, another normal animal.
That's true, another normal animal.
And Bumi is just fucking slinging puns all over the place in this scene, or just in general. He's a pun meister.
Yeah.
Got to get him on the show.
And
Bumi, come on, Podcabbages.
Sokka seems to be the only person who thinks this is funny.
Finally, Sokka has a good opinion. But then Bumi throws a drumstick at Aang, who reveals his airbender identity accidentally by sort of catching it in a little air bubble.
In his vegetarian instincts, he like avoids touching the meat.
By the way, Bumi is like decked out in rings like of every color. He's like fucking Quoth with all these rings that probably mean something I'll never learn.
Every finger has a little colorful ring on it. Does it mean anything?
Who knows? Find out in book 3 that'll never be released. They try to slip away by sort of playing their avatar card, but they're detained. And then Bumi's like, no, you gotta pass my challenges or whatever. And Aang's like, that's some weird riddle boy bullshit. And he can't say anything though, because they bring them into sort of a detainment chamber where they mention they have like a little discourse like, oh, which chamber do we want to bring them to? Like the good chamber, the bad chamber, the refurbished chamber. And I was thinking they probably did this because they wanted to put them in the bad chamber, but they also didn't want to establish Boomy as like a bad guy.
They get into the chamber and they're all kind of confused. There's no doors to this chamber, and the ways that people get in and out is that people kind of just earthbend their way through. They just kind of slide the walls open and close, which makes me think like how secure these prisons are, sort of, when you can just kind of earthbend them open.
That's true. If you're an earthbender, it's not really useful.
I just had like an image in my mind, like throughout every chamber, there's just like an earthbender just kind of with their hands out, just trying to make sure that the walls aren't moving. And if anyone tries to move the walls open, they just kind of hold it. They're trying to get Appa to save them, who is just kind of way out there. He never gets into Omashu because he's just so big.
That's true. I didn't realize, or I guess I just never thought about how they didn't bring Appa in.
They just bring his fur in. That's all they can get. They're trying to get Momo through the air vents, but he can't because Momo was actually part of the feast, and Momo has become Bode.
Bode-mo.
Omashu become Bode.
Aang wakes up and his friends Hermione and Ron are missing. Robert Pattinson tells him to swim to the bottom of the lake where he will face the Dark Lord.
You're really... Can I talk about the 5-second scene when the guard is getting Aang's staff? When the guard asks for him staff?
Sure.
Aang and Sokka and Katara all go to sleep. Aang wakes up in the middle of the night. A guard is there, and he's like, "We're ready for the first challenge. Give me your staff." And this is the longest note that I've ever made. When the guard asks for Aang's staff, Aang hands it over in the most dramatic way possible. He doesn't just reach over and bend over, like just picks up his staff from the floor. He like pulls it towards him with his foot. Oh. Immersive. He pulls it towards him with his foot, and so the staff kind of rolls over and it like lifts a little bit. He very quickly hooks his foot under the staff up from the ground with his foot. Now that the staff is flinged up into the air, he should just grab it. No, he just kind of lets the staff fall back down, bounces the staff with his heel up, and then he grabs it. He should just hand it to him. No, he just like twirls it like super fast and like really angrily for no reason. Angrily. And then he's like holding the staff with both hands, gently tosses the staff over. And I time this, and this happens within like 3.8 seconds that he does this whole fancy move just to hand over his staff.
I just want everyone to know at home that I did drop my vape pen while Noah began this story and reenacted this whole scene flawlessly.
It was incredible.
Thanks.
Those Bagua lessons are really helping.
Aang is brought out and sort of told the rules of the game, and Aang is disinclined to acquiesce to Boomy's request. So Boomy puts the Genomite rings on Sokka and Katara's fingers, saying, "Oh, these are some rock rings that are just going to keep growing until you are done, and then I can release them. But until that point, they're just going to be slowly encased in rock.
And then they'll be in little rock cocoons."
Thanks, Neil.
You're welcome.
The first challenge is to retrieve a key that's hanging inside of a waterfall. Seems pretty straightforward, but it seems like the water pressure is just a little too strong for him to just jump in, and he can't really climb up the ladder to get it
There's
either.
A ladder conveniently placed.
And Boomy starts taunting him like, "Oh, you're so creative. Your ideas are so unique and ingenuitive." Aang is like, "Oh, well, fine. I will do something fun." So he pops off the tip of a stalagmite, uses it to slice through the waterfall, spear the key to the wall above Boomy's head.
I'm very impressed because, like, that stalagmite looks like it could have weighed like 30 pounds or something. He's very strong.
For the second challenge, Aang has to steal a golden egg from a dragon. But it's oops all rabbits.
The egg is a rabbit and the dragon is a rabbit. Man, that's my favorite flavor of Trick cereal.
Just silly rabbits, all rabbits.
At this point in the show, I'm starting to suspect that this show does not go by like the hybrid only rules that I thought it did. This rabbit also has very long ears, and that's like its only weird thing.
That could have led Aang to believe this was Flopsy, the rabbit he was supposed to retrieve. However, the giant gorilla rabbit that was chasing him around was Flopsy.
It's very terrifying.
The third challenge, Boomy is like, oh, look at these fine earthbenders, probably, or just warriors or something. They just look strong, don't they? They've got weapons.
He brings out an incel and he brings out a Chad.
Okay. Then he's like, point to someone, and that's who you will battle. And Aang, at this point, he's starting to realize, oh, I gotta think outside the box, huh? I can point to anyone, and then I can battle them, right? And he's like, and I'm like, point to Sokka, please.
Yeah.
Just point to Sokka. He's in a rock.
He can barely even stand.
But no, he points to Boomy, and Boomy's like, Palpatine voice, wrong choice.
I am Omashu. Oh yeah, we find out that Boomy is an Elder Chad. He's swole.
He derobes, and we see that he is an Elder Chad, I suppose, if that's what you want to say.
It's more of a Yoda move.
This is the first time we really see earthbending for the first time. This is a fighting style based on the real-life martial art of Hung Har Kuen. I wish I spoke this language so I could say that properly. I'm probably butchering it, but I did find a video of this particular martial art on YouTube, and it does look very silly in real life also. I would even go so far as to say it looks more silly in real life, and I would encourage anybody who's interested to go ahead and just Google Hung Har Kuen and take a look at this earthbending fighting style in real life, because holy shit, it is something else.
How do you fight with it?
The video that I watched, this gentleman that was demonstrating this spent, I kid you not, like the first half of this 10-minute video just preparing. He was just stancing, and he was making these like the magician style, like hand magic motions.
Or Naruto style. If you watch Naruto.
Guess.
What is the technique supposed to do?
It looks extremely stable, I will say.
Okay.
You could not knock that boy over with a pail of water. But then after watching this video, my sidebar got really confused because I had just been looking up Patriot clips and some obscure 90s kung fu videos, and I got some really weird recommendations. So in this battle, there's lots of rocks flying around, big rock chunks. Aang looks terrified, as he should. And he's mostly just evading, just running around, flying around, trying to get out of the way of these huge, massive chunks of rock, which Boomy points out, like, oh, very predictable of you to be evading.
You see the King of Omashu kind of like moving around, and it looks like he's got like his hands like really close to his hips, and like he's just doing like small little steps and stuff, and he looks like he's doing like the Every Night I Think of You sort of meme dance.
He pulls out this huge chunk of rock that's containing like the entrance to this cave area also, and throws it at Aang, who, have you ever been in like a private hot tub or like a small pool outside of someone's home, with your friends and just walk
you put your swimsuit under the jet, and then it makes your swimsuit like look really poofy and big?
Something else.
Okay.
You walk very quickly in one direction with your friends in a circle around the water area.
Oh, yeah.
And it creates
like one of those.
Yeah, it creates like a little whirlpool.
Like one of those just sort of pools that you could just put out on a lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love those.
That's what Aang does in this moment of terror that he experiences. He just runs in a circle really fast.
He panics and starts running in circles.
And creates a literal tornado.
Mm-hmm.
And this big rock that Boomy just threw at him sort of circles back and flies right back at him. And Boomy seems to catch it at the last minute, but Aang is able to pin Boomy to the wall, essentially. And
Aang is like using like this diversion tactic kind of thing where he's like redirecting this rock towards Boomy, And then like Boomy's like splitting it in half and like there's all this dust. And then Aang is like, I'm going to jump out from the dust and like get him really quick before he knows it. And he's like screaming the whole time.
He gets him pinned to the wall, and then Boomy does have a big rock over his head. But he concedes, like, yeah, I guess, like, as best as you can do, you did beat me.
If it ends in a draw, I guess you win because I technically can't lose.
And then Boomy just like phases into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what you can do when you control rock.
He does a trust fall with the earth. And he does a trust fall with the earth, and the earth doesn't catch him. He does the Terry Pratchett definition of flying.
What do you mean?
I don't know if it's Terry Pratchett or John Quincy Adams.
No, Douglas Adams.
He does the technical definition of flying as reference from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. All you have to do is just throw yourself at the ground and miss.
So they all regroup up where Sokka and Katara are, on top of the sort of entrance, the rock area. Instead of releasing Sokka and Katara, Boomy pulls a fucking Rumpelstiltskin. Say my name, in order to save your friends. Say, baby, you want them. And the gang starts brainstorming, trying to figure out if the trials had anything to do with it. Sokka suggests Rocky. Aang, thinking about how all of the challenges required him to think outside of the box, realizes that it's Boomy, and I just realized I've been saying his name this whole episode. It's Boomy, his old zany, mad genius friend.
This is the shit boy.
Boomy releases Katara and Sokka and admits that the Genomite is actually just rock candy. They want to know what the hell Boomy's problem is.
Hey man, what's your problem?
What the fuck is up with this?
What's your fucking problem?
Boomy just wanted to help Aang remember to stay on his toes, as it were. He just wants Aang to remember that it's important to think like a mad genius. They all do a slide together, like the old times.
You don't ever see Katara and Sokka's reaction to this. Like, Aang was like, oh, it was Boomy. That was such a fun time. That's great. I love you. Oh, and they run into the cabbage guy.
They crash into the merchant's cart for the third time. It was a cabbage incident of 3 parts.
Yeah.
The third cabbage incident was the greatest cabbage incident of the 3, wrapping the others inside of itself. Much like a cabbage. That was the episode. That was the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was a good one.
Yeah, I liked it.
I really liked this episode. Despite there not being any Zuko or Iroh in this episode at all. It was still very good.
I think the humor landed a lot weller.
Character stuff.
How would Boomy describe himself? Athletic, original, social, friendly, misunderstood, independent, girly, or wild?
So many of those things. The probably original at the top, though.
Okay, yeah, original, definitely. Does Boomy like to talk to others?
Yes.
Yeah. Where's you refuge? It says, where's you refugee? But I'm pretty sure it means, where's your refuge? Home, the gym, outside, song lyrics, the internet, his bed, any store, or his friend's house.
The gym.
Yeah. Which band would Boomy listen to? The Beatles, AC/DC, Panic at the Disco, Green Day, 5 Seconds of Summer, Nirvana, 21 Pilots, or Alt J. Which one is like the line and then the dash and then the slash? Either 21 Pilots or Alt J or Fleetwood Mac.
Probably the Beatles.
Yeah, Boomy's a Beatles boy. Which is funnier? We have a collection of sort of just meme-ish, kind of funny, fun images that you'd find around on the internet. The first one is just a picture of a face of Justin Bieber, and you see Suzanne from Orange is the New Black in the background. The second one is, it looks like sort of generic textbook drawings, and you see labels for one of them that says, in like Comic Sans, you see good boy, and he's got scripture, good music, your thoughts. And then you see a bad boy who's a brunette and his hair is parted the other way, and it says pornography, violence, rock music.
Boy, this is really great podcasting material, isn't it?
Yeah, this one's just a picture of that one girl from Parks and Rec.
Let me just look at them. I'm going to pick this one that says, I don't know, Enchanted Forest, Garden Path, Emerald Breeze. Who cares? It's a fucking paint color. I was supposed to be a novelist, not doing this crap. It's light green, Gary. Light fucking green.
It's like one of those little paint swatch things from Home Depot or something. What would Boomy's favorite book be? Wonder, Catching Fire, Goosebumps Horrorland, City of Bees? Divergent, Twilight, Water for Elephants, or Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows?
Definitely the Goosebumps book.
Yeah. Boomy, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Is Boomy an introvert?
No.
No. Would Boomy like cake or pie? This is kind of a tough one.
Pie.
Pie?
He would have a pie on his birthday.
What's Boomy's favorite season?
Spring.
Would Boomy use a Mac or a PC?
PC.
But Mac's whole thing is think different.
Boomy wants something he can use.
This show is recorded on a Mac. Which shoes?
Let's do sandals.
Advertisement.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Suave.
Here's Boomy's aesthetic. Boomy is athletic aesthetic. You love the feeling of being fit.
Yeah.
You get a high when you exercise. You probably shop for new athletic stuff on the daily. Nike, leggings, running.
Just running?
Running.
Pick a party song for Aang. Closer by Tegan and Sarah. Kiss by Prince. Don't Save Me by Haim. We Can't Stop by Miley Cyrus. Get Crazy by LMFAO. Dancing on My Own by Robin. Somebody Loves You by Betty Who. Bye 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 by NSYNC or Beyonce. Just Beyonce.
Dancing on My Own by Robin because he's the Last Airbender and he's just dancing on his own.
I'm going to ask you to pick a color.
Okay.
Light blue, camo, white, yellow, purple camo, dark blue, purple, red, or old school.
Old school? What's your favorite color? Old school. Like sepia? You know, old school.
Just trust me. I don't want to give it away, so I had to adjust the question a little.
So can I look at it or
No.
I'm not allowed to look at it?
Not this one.
So I have to visualize colors in my brain?
Yeah.
Yellow, maybe, because he's wearing yellow and he has that
personality.
He's got that positive look.
What's most important in life? Being cute, friends, having a good time, helping others, kisses, sex, strength, talent, or justice?
For the context of this episode, I'm going to say having a good time.
Pick a superpower: hypnotic charm, impervious to pain, turning invisible. I don't need any powers, I can handle myself. Poison kisses, see the future, super strength, telekinesis, or transform into any shape.
I think it would be churning into any shape, just because that would just be so fun for him.
Movie night, pick a genre: action, biography, something classic, documentary, fantasy, musical, Pixar, sci-fi, or porn. Movie night.
Fantasy musical or Pixar?
I think Pixar because he seems like a very Pixar kind of dude.
He is a little Pixar boy.
What's Aang's drug of choice?
Life, love, or pizza? Life, yeah.
What's Aang's ideal vacation? Seaside resort, Paris, Miami with 3 exclamation points. Road trip with 1 exclamation point. Coachella, the moon. Ski resort, summer camp, or Disney World?
Road trip.
Yeah, that's what they're doing. What really turns Aang on?
Ooh.
Hot bod, nice clothes, soulful eyes, luscious hair, long legs, pouty lips, nice smile, sexy voice, or nice laugh.
Soulful eyes.
What would Aang rather be doing? Going for a run, shopping online, working out, hanging out at the arcade, eating candy in bed, hiking outside, karaoke, playing laser tag, or playing Risk with friends? I would say karaoke.
Yeah, karaoke. Do we ever see Aang sing?
Oh my God. You're not going to fucking believe this.
What?
Aang's Nintendo character.
What is Aang's Nintendo character? I guess.
It's the long Tetris block.
It's the eye-shaped Tetris block.
It's the character that I suggested that they put in Smash Brothers.
L-shaped Tetris block.
Or capital I shaped. You got the capital I and or L, lowercase L shaped Tetris block. You're a loyal friend, and you're always ready to lend a helping hand. People can really count on you in a pinch. Everyone is thrilled when you show up to a party because it's not a real party until you arrive. I don't know if I would say that about this block, but I definitely would say that about Aang.
Would you have the same emotional reaction to Aang walking into a room as you would when you see that eye-shaped block?
I'm getting some questions in my phone notes that I wrote a few hours ago. These are some questions that I pulled off of. I actually wrote down the name of the website this time, avatarspirit.net, an old-ass Avatar forum.
Okay.
And a little help from the Wayback Machine.
This is the part where we change the gain on Summer's microphone.
Thank you. First question comes from Mistress Katara. Mistress Katara asks, how adorable is it that Zach Tyler Eisen wants to be a sportscaster when he grows up?
Who is Zach Tyler Aston?
Zach Tyler Eisen, the boy who voices Aang.
God, that would be good.
So when I read this question, I was like really curious, and I went just to see, like, I mean, it's been a while. What's he up to now?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Can't find shit about this kid. His Wikipedia page is like half a paragraph long. He did this and nothing else.
He's the voice of Aang, and then he just...
Yeah, it's really sad. I also found on his Wikipedia page, it said that he did most of his recordings via satellite.
He was in outer space. I guess this implies that he just did most of the recording, without everyone else.
It said that he was like in his home in Connecticut or something like that, and he just did his recordings via satellite.
That sounds kind of sad now.
Yeah, it's really, really sad. Also, he was born in 1993, so he's my age.
Oh, wow.
Actually, he's not my age, because his birthday, September 25th. That's coming right up.
Oh.
Happy birthday, Zach.
Happy birthday, Zach.
I was checking his IMDb. It seems that he did produce a couple of episodes of a TV show, like the TV show Truth or Dare in 2015.
Okay.
He's done a few things here and there, but nothing really notable, nothing really on his Wikipedia page. And I did also find what I believe to be his Twitter account. Oh. And I am so sorry, Zach. I know it's your birthday, but I just would love to share a few choice tweets. Right at the top of his Twitter feed. Fuck!
What?
His second tweet, chronologically going backwards, of course.
Wait, when was that?
2012.
I hope you're okay, Zach.
December 19th, 2012, by Twitter, period. December 19th, 2012. Shit!
Damn, Aang.
December 19th, 2012. Why the hell did I even create this account? December 19th, 2012. No good, Twitter.
Are you okay?
December 19th,
Aang.
2012. Shit! I'm out of here.
I can't believe I literally just turned your gain up and now you're just like screaming.
December 19th, 2012. One word. Guitar. December 19th, 2012. Playing my guitar. July 28th, 2012. Ass. July 28th, 2012. Just a link to his Wikipedia page.
Okay.
Real or fake? Guitar, football, and acting. 18 years old. Haha, try to search my name and you'll see how old I am now. LOL, people thinks I'm fake. Haha, what a joke. It's occurring to me now that this is probably a fake account. But it did come up when I searched his name on Google. So it was the first result. Unfortunately. So how adorable is it?
Very adorable. Young little happy boy announcer talking about these sort of running men throwing these balls. The Patriots scored the point against the Kobe Bryant of the football sports. definitely be walking into that sports bar. I would love to hear
for the first time in your goddamn life. Next question comes from Firelord Sunny, band user.
Band? Oh, I thought you meant like marching band.
No, banned from the forums.
They have been banned from the forums.
If the war had so many adults, then why must so many kids fight too?
Damn, forums trying to silence the truth. That is a fair point. And it's kind of realistic to the world where all the older people are just kind of in the back and actually making the important things. And the younger people are just all at the front lines.
This next question comes from the Master. All one word.
Ooh.
The Master asks, you seem to have something against guys. Care to elaborate?
No.
This next and last question comes from me to you. What are your cabbages?
Very thick socks and a white watch and some pajama pants that are rolled up past my knees. A light gray t-shirt rolled up past my knees. A little space astronaut on it holding a guitar, glasses, and headphones.
My cabbages are striped turtleneck, sweatpants, a hair tie with a little heart on it. And that's it. Anything you want to say about this episode before we wrap up?
Oh, yeah. The music in the show is very good. It's good, especially for a television show.
Yeah, this was a good episode. I like this one. I don't even remember what we have next, but I'm excited to find out. Let's plug some stuff.
Okay.
If you were looking for me online, you could find me on Twitter at Stellar Ghost, on Tumblr at Interstellar Princess. You can also find my art blog at Summer Art on Tumblr, or just summergeist.art. And hell, just go support me on Patreon while you're at it. I have a lot of fun exclusive stuff there for $1 and up, $5, $10 patrons. That's just patreon.com/summergeist. I'm still not sure about Mastodon yet, but if you're on there, I'm just at mastodon.social. And again, you can just probably see all of this if you just find my Twitter for now, Stellar Ghost.
You can find me on Tumblr at OwlDude. You can also find me on Twitter at OwlDude, also the same thing. I'm also, for those listening into the future where Mastodon might be relevant, you can also find me at Geist at mastodon.social. If the .social thing is still relevant, I still don't know what the different ats are. It's very confusing to me at the moment, but I'm still trying to learn what everything means.
All right, Grandpa.
I'm getting very old. I am also a musician. You can find me and my music at noahdoesmusic.tumblr.com, as well as Noah Geist, GEIST, .bandcamp.com, where you can find the theme song to the podcast called Cabbage, and you can download it if you want.
And then, of course, we want to also plug Noisepace before we go, noisepace.xyz. All of our fun Noisepace podcasts can be found there. And go ahead and just subscribe to anything that you see that tickles your fancy there. Lots of fun shows for all kinds of interests. God, I love our friends, don't you?
Love them.
What kinds of fun things can we do with cabbages?
We've talked about the things you can do with cabbages, but why? Cabbages
Cabbages have layers.
are the windows
How are they windows at all?
To
It doesn't even make
lettuce.
sense.
to his house,
Whose?
and everything is cabbage to him and himself. It is the story of
'Cause he ain't got nobody to cabbage.
cabbage. We gotta do a bit. We gotta do something. We gotta do it strong.
When all is said and done, you'll believe cabbages are cabbage. Cabbage when I cabbage, cabbage.
Oh, what's a
Cabbage when I cabbage. And cabbage when I cabbage, cabbage. Cabbage, 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 cabbage. And you'll eat cabbage, 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 cabbage. And all cabbage, 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 cabbage. Who's that cabbage, 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 cabbage?
cabbage is on my legs and Death cabbages for cutie.
Mm.
Can I call a cabbage? This is an unsustainable cabbage. Genetically modified cabbages.
There is so much bopping and...
Okay.
Stand on your knees if you have to. We might be able to just piece together what we have.
Okay.
We used up all of our funny fuel at the beginning before we even started.
Are you sure?
Yes.
And check this out. Benedict Cabbage Patch. Put that on a T-Fury t-shirt.
Put that on a popsicle stick.
One side of the popsicle stick says Benedict and the other one says Cabbage Patch Kid.
Cabbage. Cough time.
Wait.
I'm just going to do a cough.
Okay.
So that we can use it. Wait.
You gotta do it like off, like over here. You've been coughing a lot. This should be good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, perfect.